Hi, I'm mandolinist Nathan Henness. Welcome to part 2 of Boil Them Cabbage Down. In the first lesson I showed you an introduction of how to play Boil Them Cabbage Down. In this video we're going to show you other different variations of how to play Boil Them Cabbage Down. But before we do that, let's tune up again. We'll start with the string closest to the floor, which is an E string. Then we'll start with the second string, which is an A string. Then the D string. Then the G string. Okay. The first variation I like to show you is a little bit like what we did before. This version will be playing mostly on the D string, the A string, and we'll use a little bit of the E string. So in this version we start out by going with your finger on the second fret on D, and then you'll hit the A open, and then this fourth fret on D, the A open, the second fret on D again, open, A, second fret on A, and then we'll do this little medley, and then the fifth on A, and then back to the second fret on A again, and then you will repeat that twice. And that concludes this version of how to play Boil Them Cabbage Down. Played up to speed, it should sound like this. The second version, we're going to be using something that may be a little bit new to you. You'll have to give your fingers a little bit of a stretch, but it's part of mandolin playing, and we're going to be using something what is called double stops. And double stops are where you blend two strings that are fretted. And in this version of Boil Them Cabbage Down, you'll be using the D string and the G string. And your first double stop that you'll be using for the beginning part of the tune is the second fret on D, and then you'll be using the sixth fret on G. And the double stop sounds something like this. The second double stop that we'll be using will be the fourth fret on A and the seventh fret on G. So the first two double stops we've got now are, and then the second double stop we'll be using will be second fret on A, fourth on G, and then the last double stop that we'll be using, you'll be just pushing both strings out at the same time, but you'll be barring the second fret on G and the second fret on A. And this version sounds something like this. Now I'll break that down for you. What I was doing there is we're starting out on this double stop that I showed you at the beginning, and we're doing our pattern from the first lesson. Then we're moving up to the second double stop, then going back to the same double stop as before, then the double stop, then the long double stop, and then this little medley that we've got here. To break it down even more, doing the double stop, you put your finger on the 2nd fret on A, second and the 6th fret on G, and do your pattern. Then you'll slide that your fingers up to the 4th fret on A and the 7th fret on G, and do your pattern again. Then back to the 2nd fret on A, 6th fret on G, and do your pattern again. Then just leave your finger on the 2nd fret on A and push your finger down to the 4th fret on G, do your pattern again. Then put your finger back down on the 6th fret and do your pattern again. Then slide your fingers up to the 4th fret on A and the 7th fret on G. Then we break the pattern in half and do our little medley. So we'll put our fingers back down on the 2nd on A, 6th on G, then push your finger down on the 4th fret on G, and then your little bar chord on the 2nd on G and the 2nd on A. And that concludes this lesson. I hope you have fun with all 3 versions of Boil Them Cabbage Down, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.